Now, I've said before that one of the things to try to put an end to the local police and so-called justice system, its use of its slave ring and its extortion ring. I said before that one of the ways to fight that would be to contact Channel 12 in Cincinnati. Of course, we could use, there's 4 major news outlets there, but I think all focusing on one at the same time, one being hit at the same time with a bunch of information about the same thing going on, would be the best way to get information instead of different ones, each getting a little trickle, one being hit all at once with as much information as they can get. That would be more likely to get a story started. Now, if you know a lot about what the MPD is doing, their crimes they're committing, and you know, and you're willing to talk, odds are they're going to be trying to stop you from communicating. Here's a few ways that I know to get around that. One of them is obviously you can send a letter with a fake name, fake address, but I would not, actually what I would do, I would not use a fake address, I would use a real address, but use it from a place that has a high turnover. Lots of people moving in and out all the time. When I was in San Diego, I did that. They had the homeless shelters, they had day center there because they have such a large homeless population. Of course, a lot of people come in, check in the homeless shelter when it's raining or when they're trying to detox or whatever, then move out. So they couldn't keep track of who was there and who wasn't. If you know of an apartment complex does something similar, that lots of people move in, move out all the time, then you use a real address, real name, that way it wouldn't tip them off that there's a fake address there. Use real address, fake name, that way it wouldn't tip them off. Now, another thing is your electronic communications, like phone calls and things, so on. If you are willing to spend some money, under $50, you go with a prepaid, the cheapest you could get, obviously, prepaid phone, and then prepaid card on it. I know Verizon does not require you to register who you are to use it. If you run into a system that does use you, you're required to use that to register, then what you could do is you could go with, then you might use the made up name, real address, just not your own. That would throw them off. That way, police would have no idea what to look for. You can go ahead and get the information through, get it to Channel 12, and get the investigation started. Now, of course, another problem is they might see you coming if they're spying on you a lot, watching you, because they know who has the most information on them and who's most willing to talk about them. That's why I'm watching so closely myself. That's why I'm sure they're watching this video. They're going to be watching this video as soon as it's posted. If you want them not to know what you're doing in advance, remember they do use spyware on phones. What I would do is if you charge your phone, when your phone is, if you're charging it where it has to be turned on, we have to have the battery in it, obviously charge it. Charge it in another room from the room you sleep in. A lot of people talk in their sleep, I know I do. I know they've been tipped off by that before. Another thing, if you want to be able to carry your phone but not have them listen in and you suspect they might put spyware on it, you can use lots of aluminum foil. It's what's called a Faraday shield. If you just Google Faraday shield, like Popular Science, I know we'll have articles on Faraday shields. It basically just blocks electromagnetic signals like the one coming from your phone. Another trick we don't want to be heard is take the battery out and just leave it out until you actually need to use the phone. Yeah, that'll keep you from getting incoming calls, but if you have a voicemail, that shouldn't be a problem. You'd be fine. You can just get the voicemail and contact it again. Another option for communicating, getting it past them, I would suggest a cheap phone or cheap tablet, either a new one or one you just pick up, use somewhere. Just spend as little as you can. You could then not have a plan for it at all, not use a plan at all. Either send text or send things over public Wi-Fi, not use it on a data network. That way nobody knows that it's you. There's public Wi-Fi, there's free Wi-Fi offered everywhere. Pretty much lots of businesses, you know where to find them anyway. Or you can use a VoIP app place phone calls, get them through to Channel 12, and then do that. Another idea is, I know social media accounts, of course, Twitter does not check to see who you are. That's why only public figures are verified. That's why they're the only ones who know who they are. It's very easy to set up a fake Twitter account. Extremely easy. I would do is you could go check the Channel 12, their Twitter handle. Just send the tweets with the information you have in them. If you have documentation, or you have a place to find documentation, because journalists are going to look for that, put a picture of that documentation or the location of it inside the tweet it with their handle, and get that done. That's all I have for right now. Hopefully this will be useful, get a story started, and hopefully that will get a legitimate investigation started.